Soulwin revealed as the next Lost Colony creature. The Giga wins TLC vote. And Astreaos Desert Update teasing a little more. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. Because hello there, Soulwin, the other evolution to the Veilwyn. Of course, we got the Malwyn teased last weekend, and this one apparently, obviously, looking like a very much yin-yang version to the Malwyn, sporting an almost spiritual overglow along its angelic white and blue colours. Even its facial features adopt a very different variant from the six-eyed demon dog we saw last week. Looking possibly around the same scale size, it's literally dubbed as the challenger to the malevolent shadow of its darker twin. Seeming to be more linked to its pre-evolved stage because, well, the Veilwyn spawns in snow biomes, this one's described as rising from beneath the frozen wastes, with some very ambiguous descriptive explaining how you're going to transform one of these, a strange force. Once transformed, this swift guardian will allow you to glide across ice fields and create fleeting pathways, and especially allow you to move gracefully through these frozen hazards. Fiercely guarding their bonded rider, Wildcard leave us with the question, which evolution will you choose? Cementing, if it wasn't obvious, there's definitely only one evolution you can choose of the two from your Veilwyn. The question is, what needs to be done to make your Veilwyn evolve to one of these? Could it be seemingly these new resources or whatever they are to feed to your Veilwyn for them to evolve, or is it based around the Veilwyn level with you having these things in companion mode for so long and attaining levels to them? Is that going to be a part of the evolution process? Furthermore, could skills be involved with this, seeing that there's a skill tree now in ARK and you've simply got to select that one and only skill to evolve your Veilwyn to? And despite it's not being quite the Falcor iteration we was all expecting, or some of us was expecting, or just me, yeah, it's such a heavenly, godly contrast to make us wonder, is there a huge lore-tying aspect between the two, between the Soulwin and the Malwyn? We can see we're in some like heavenly lit-up place with pink clouds flowing around us, blue icy crystals littering the floor, and certainly nothing like we've seen so far in the contents trailers for Lost Colony. At the very least, we're getting some brand new reveals with this one, not just the Soulwin, but of course the armour the players are wearing within this image, a very snow-padded, sub-zero temperature protecting, bandana adorning, goggles wearing gear that certainly cements to me that Lost Colony is going to be a harsh environment indeed, and I'm all for it. More to the point, one of our survivors here has a point. In the shape of a spear, a shiny spear, an angelic spear, a tech spear? Could it be possibly? We've had quite a selection of tech weapons up until this point, though quite a few of them are still remaining to be seen in ASA. So a brand new one wouldn't go amiss. In fact, it's the same tech spear that we see Mei Yin wield within that original Lost Colony teaser. Or it looks pretty damn similar anyway. Other than that, maybe a tech torch. I'm pretty sure this is definitely that tech spear that we saw within the animation and now materialized in a physical 3D rendered form. Very cool, but very interesting how this is going to be handled, because, you know, a spear's a spear, you can prod it forward normally. Can you be doing much more than that? Could the animation of Mei Yin be alluding to us having some possible aerobatics? That's not a word. But I'm excited to see how this is going to work, how the Soulwin and the Malwyn will counter each other, as it seems Wildcard are pitching to us. With the wonder, really, does the armour these characters are wearing attribute to something more? We can see them wearing this snowy attire, and then we've got this dark tech attire with this Malwyn image, which of course you can already wear in the Lost Colony pass. Could both of these resemble two factions at war, seeing that we've got almost alluded three symbols possibly representing three groups to run into in this Lost Colony story? Oh, not too long to really wait. The 16th, it's still there, it's still dated, it's still coming, a mere 2 weeks and a bit away. It really is around the corner, and man, I am hyped. The first story DLC in 5 years, the first time we get some actual canon being added to ARK in-game. A bridge between Extinction and Gen 1, ARK 1 and ARK 2. This is hopefully going to be a monumentous map for ARK and the future. And well, speaking of things coming to the future, you've just voted for it, you've locked it in. TLC number 3 is proudly awarded to the Giga, and let's face it, it was always going to happen. This obviously being the Paleo Giga from the Paleo team and not representative of what the TLC might be, but I dare say it's going to influence it at least a touch. It's a real wonder what on earth they're going to do with the Giga to bring it up to date and still keep it balanced enough to be, you know, usable, well, as favourable as a car. Look, we all use cars now all the time now, and the Giga has really truly paled since that thing's released. But naturally what we don't want to see is the Giga being that too overpowered that the car now pals in comparison, right? Either way, I really hope and think some of the aesthetics and abilities from the Paleo Evo Giga might influence whatever this TLC might be. And don't forget, of course, there's a possibility we might actually see these Paleo creatures in ARK anyway, if Deps's recent Discord announcement is anything to go by. Locked in following the Quetzal and the Aranio, that leaves only 2 spots left to be confirmed next week for 4th place and the following week for 5th place. And with quite a sizable difference between 6th and 5th place, a pretty much $9,000 between the two. Unless some monstrous donos come through in the next 2 weeks, I think these two are pretty safely locked in. But speaking of monstrous donos, holy hell, did you know we have raised more than we ever have for Extra Life for ARK for Wildcard. This has been the most they have ever raised ever. 190,000 just got recently passed, beating their all-time record of 188,000. And in acknowledgement and thanks, Wildcard are baking up a special little treat in celebration of breaking this fundraising record, and keep an eye out for what that is when more info lands on the menu. And like, what the hell could that be? I don't think it's going to be a 6th TLC, because the words within this community crunch are locking in that 5 brand new Dino TLC passes. I think if they were going to throw in a 6th, they would have mentioned it right here, so maybe it's something else. What exactly is really truly anyone's guess. I don't even know what to expect when we've got Lost Colony just around the corner. We've got, I assume, Winter Wonderland also around the corner as well. Like, where on earth could they pull any resources to make something extra? Like, whilst I'm truly grateful whatever this might be, where on earth are they going to pull the resources to deliver something else with all of the great stuff that's coming over the next month? And just once again, a big thank you to everybody that contributed towards this through mine and Aaron's live stream, and anyone who was taking part for this. It's a phenomenal amount. It really is a life-changing amount for sick children over in hospitals in Florida, where we got to reveal a bunch of cool stuff that was kind of like passed to us through a back door as a result of raising the amount that we did to share with you guys, including, of course, all of those cool, awesome Q&A answers that we got from Jeremy, co-founder Jeremy Stieglitz, and other reveals in that live stream too for, well, other maps, one in particular that's apparently getting a brand new update. Astreaos, with creator Nakatus releasing his very first teaser of what to expect, saying he's very happy to share the first teaser of the Astreaos desert called Perinthos. I'm going to guess that's how it's pronounced. And specifically introducing a new sky system that Nakatus mentions in this tweet. Interested to see how that's going to look in game. It does look a lot less cloudier than we've seen before in ARK. And as you can see, a heck of a lot oasis-like area, so it won't all be just plain old boring desert. But a little few teases out there. If you look a bit closer, we can see to the right a fire wyvern flying around, straight bang in the middle, of course, a new obelisk to possibly be facing a brand new boss guardian, confirming there's going to be artifact caves to explore with this one. A possible corruption looking wasteland area on the left there, with volcanic lava waterfalls spewing out from those black rocks out there in the distance. If you don't know by now, we kind of got a little glimpse on what to expect with this, because you can pass through the world barrier, even though Nakatus isn't too happy about that one. Sorry mate, but you know, had to be done. And I think I've got a rough idea of where that is here, right, this shot right here. I think this is that exact shot, though this is obviously in some very alpha stage and nothing like we're going to get when we see it in its final form. And with Nakatus mentioning in our live stream yesterday to expect a brand new creature in the desert to wander into, I'm getting pretty hyped, man. I already love this map. I think it's my favourite map of all time so far. I think Astreaos is gorgeous. I think he's done a wonderful job with this, and to think there's so much more yet to come. Don't forget, rock drakes are coming at some point, and then there's another biome to be added after this one. Holy crap, it's the map that keeps on giving. I think this is definitely worth your bang for buck. If you haven't invested yet, go check it out, man. Astreaos is great. No idea when to expect this. I don't feel like we're going to get this in December now. Lost Colony is just around the corner. It wouldn't make sense to drop this now. Maybe Nakatis is going to wait for like maybe a month or a few weeks after Lost Colony drops. Like timing wise, that would make sense. Like now is really not the time to be dropping something new to Astreaos. People are still reeling off the back of Valguero. But if you haven't dived into this map online yet, you might want to soon. But if you're not online and you can't play online for whatever reason, did you know you can now play mods too? I didn't know this. I didn't even know this was a thing at all because I'm always online 24/7. But before now, if you had a mod, premium or freemium included, and you was offline, I guess there was like a check-in system and you wouldn't have been able to play any mods you had downloaded. Didn't know that, but apparently now that's no longer an issue anymore. If any of you out there were doing that, good news. Mods now work offline. Wildcard have said so. A wonderful new addition to play some very cool mods, especially when one just dropped yesterday. This thing, flipping heck, the Paleo Evo Therizino, it's definitely worth checking out. It's free as well, you know, so why not? Get on it, get involved, check it out for yourself, because, you know, if the Therizino TLC is going to happen, which it looks like it probably will, this is a good example of one that could influence it, maybe? I don't know. I've seen a few mixed reports on you feeling like you love it or not liking it at all in those comments. Kind of interested to see even more comments about this because, you know, why not? Comment below about that and all that jazz. And don't forget, a bit of Gobble Gobble Turkey Trials 2X is still running unofficial all the way up until December the 8th, so enjoy that. I know I will be, raising plenty of stuff to face of Dirty King Titan. So until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always,